Thursday, April 21st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you, and some weather changes taking place. We've had a cold front that's slid to the south of at least most of North Carolina. It's kind of parked itself through parts of South Carolina, Georgia, back into Alabama and Mississippi. And that front, that little stationary boundary, caused a lot of issues back into parts of Mississippi and Alabama yesterday. In fact, look at all the severe weather reports through, especially that corridor running from Greenwood and Starkville, Mississippi, over toward Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. There were some very photogenic thunderstorms that were involved there, including some really interesting pictures around Starkville. Looked like a supercell thunderstorm, something like you'd see out in Kansas or Oklahoma. But the severe weather threat today, a little bit less. I'll show you that in just a second. Now, the radar this morning, this is during the 5 o'clock hour, and there you have that little leftover mesoscale convective vortex, basically just a tiny little low pressure spawned by the convection yesterday, and that's spreading some rain into the upstate of South Carolina and westernmost parts of North Carolina. And I think that southern corridor of North Carolina, the Interstate 74 corridor especially, maybe up to around Davidson and Randolph counties, may see a couple of showers later on this morning. Broader perspective of the radar, still pretty unsettled back into parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, and northern Louisiana. Now, in terms of active watches, warnings, and advisories, it's all flood products now in Mississippi and Alabama, also up around parts of the Ohio Valley and into North Dakota. Temperature-wise, there's your chillier air that's now beginning to bleed on in, and tomorrow, for Good Friday, it's going to be a classic cold air damming configuration with some very chilly temperatures for parts of the Piedmont. More on that in a second. In terms of the severe weather outlook today, maybe one or two severe storms, a possibility down in the deep south, once again there in Mississippi and Alabama, but the severe weather threat there not as great as it was yesterday. Back in the plains, that's where you have your slide to your standard severe weather risk area, and I think we're gearing up for another pretty decent severe weather outbreak from parts of the Ohio Valley back toward the southern plains tomorrow. It could be another relatively high-end severe weather day tomorrow in that region. Now, here's the upper air chart off the European 500 millibar chart early this afternoon, and fairly benign today across the southern tier states. But let's go out a little bit further in time. Now, this is next week, the middle part of next week, when the European will swing a pretty significant system through. And most modeling is on board with that general scenario. Let's go to the GFS. Today, again, there's that chance of at least some light rain or showers in the southern parts of North Carolina down into South Carolina as we go through today. And we'll see highs today a decent amount cooler than yesterday. Lots of low to mid-70s for highs today across the Piedmont. And then tomorrow, it's going to be one of those classic cold air damming configurations. Pretty strong high up here in the northeast, bleeding down the eastern side of the mountains. And for the Interstate 85 corridor tomorrow, I think most spots will not make it to 60. Looks like a day with 50s for temperatures through the day. And there'll be some rain from time to time. So kind of a chilly, occasionally rainy type of Good Friday forecast across the Piedmont. But Saturday's the day the wedge breaks down, so probably we start Saturday with all the clouds, maybe some light rain or drizzle, but some sun will try to work in by the afternoon. And then we're in pretty decent shape for Easter Sunday. I'll show you that in a second. Let's go to the Canadian model. This is what it prints out for that precip during the day today. Same general idea. And then Friday, for Good Friday there's your rain from time to time. On the European model, again, same general idea, southern North Carolina and South Carolina. Chance for some showers today, and then there's the rain in the cold air damming areas for tomorrow. Now, over to Easter Sunday, the GFS continues to indicate the chance of some scattered afternoon storms popping up. That's not really the case on a lot of the other modeling, and I've still left Sunday's forecast dry. But again, just be aware if you have any of those outdoor plans coming up Sunday afternoon that I can't rule out a couple of pop-up afternoon storms. All right, Monday, we begin to see the next system taking shape over the plains, and this is going to be another big-ticket item, and I'm afraid there's going to be some big flooding problems with this here somewhere around the Mississippi Valley, maybe parts of the Ohio Valley. Let's go out to Tuesday, and notice you have that broad area of rain and thunderstorm activity there along that frontal zone, and that continues again into Wednesday on the GFS. And now the models are going to switch camp. The GFS is slower than the European. The GFS pulls this thing through the Carolinas on Thursday. The Europeans about a day earlier on Wednesday. So Wednesday or Thursday next week, we'll see the next round of rain and storms. And that one looks like a pretty dynamic system and a pretty warm and moist atmosphere waiting on it. So that could be another severe weather deal here for parts of the Carolinas toward the middle part of next week. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great Thursday, and God bless.